Hello and welcome to The Big Fight. Now, if you've been reading the newspapers or watching the news channels, there is one name that has been there in the headlines for the last 6 months, perhaps even more than the Prime Minister. And that, of course, is the new Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee. Now, she has her admirers and she has her critics, and lots of critics in recent times who feel that she's acting in a somewhat irrational manner, or some of her statements are slightly irrational. Others are saying that it's just an elitist way of looking at the whole thing. And Mamata Banerjee is making dramatic transformations in West Bengal. So we are here really to try and figure out what the truth is behind this entire Mamata phenomenon. Is she being misunderstood, or is she just being irrational? And to take us through all of that and to also tell us what's exactly happening in West Bengal, we have an absolutely fantastic panel. I'm going to start by introducing Prasenjit Bose, who's from the CPIM, strong views on Mamata Banerjee in more ways than one. Jayanta Ghoshal, who's the Chief of Bureau of the Anand Bazar Patrika here in Delhi. It's wonderful to have you with us. Om Prakash Mishra is General Secretary of the West Bengal Pradesh Congress Committee and also spokesperson of the party out there. So it's great to have you with us as well. Ananya Chakrabarti, filmmaker, activist. Anuradha Chenoy, Professor of the School of International Studies at the JNU. It's great to have you with us. And Derek O'Brien joining us, who's been, I guess, leading the charge as the spokesperson of the Trinamool Congress for a long time and actually been fending and fielding a lot of these questions around Mamata Banerjee. But let me just start off with the rest of you first before we toss to Derek. Overall on Mamata Banerjee, do you think she's acting irrationally, or is that a silly question to ask you?
Well, I think irrational is a very charitable description, because I think that politically speaking, what the way to characterize her, at least from the point of view of our political point of view, is that she is behaving in an autocratic manner. And what we are witnessing in West Bengal...
You know, I'm relieved. I thought you were going to say something more impolite than that. Autocratic is okay.
What the people of West Bengal voted for a change about almost a year back. And what is the change that we are witnessing in West Bengal today? And I think this is a question which the electorate of West Bengal has to ask itself today. And whether has it been a change for the better, or has it been a change for the worse? And I think that by now the opinion is already clear that it has not been a change for the better.
Let's finish with Mamata Banerjee.
Yes, the biggest problem in West Bengal is that we are moving from a situation of more democracy to a situation of less democracy. That, I think, is the biggest threat confronting West Bengal today.
Can I just stick with Mamata Banerjee for a minute? Derek, it has to be said that the way Mamata Banerjee and the Trinamool Congress has been behaving in recent times, and some of the statements that are coming have made people wonder whether, I think irrational is one of the terms that is used from it, from professors being arrested over cartoons to the statements that are made about let's not have lunch with the CPM, to I think her most recent statement, watch music channels and not news channels. Just what is happening out there? Is this deliberate strategy, or is there some method in the madness?
The word madness would be totally out of place here. Three things what are perhaps happening. One is a lot of the statements which are coming out are being taken out of context. Let me give you one or two examples for each. Let's talk about two examples where statements have been taken out of context. One is that Marx and Engels are going to be thrown out of history books from West Bengal. This was a news item which came out. Nothing is further from the truth, because there is a 670-page recommendation for the secondary school syllabus, because after 30 years of looking at history needed to be not to be doctored as it was in the past, but the balance need to be redressed. So Marx and Engels were still very much in the syllabus, but if someone jumped the gun, as I said, out of context and said Marx and Engels were thrown out.
What about Jyotipriya Mallik's statement that one should socially boycott the CPIM? Let him explain that. Why are you picking up examples out of your own choice?
Prasenjit Bose, let me just remind you that during your regime, even a local marriage in a village had to be sanctioned by the local committee persons, a CPIM local committee person. So you, last of all, have any right to question anything that Jyotipriya Mallik or anybody has said.
And it should not be the case now also.
Exactly.
I am asking for an explanation for a statement which has been made by a Trinamool Congress
People
minister.
who live in glass houses should not throw stones
No.
at others.
That glass house is your creation. I am saying this is happening here and now. A minister has come up with a statement. I am asking the spokesperson of the party to clarify whether he made
Derek,
that
you want to
statement,
clarify that?
whether you endorse that statement or not.
Do you clarify, do you endorse that statement?
Vikram, I want to get one thing. Vikram, I want to get one thing very clear on this program right at the top. I am willing to answer any question which Vikram Chandra puts to me. I refuse to be grilled by or attempted to be grilled by a gentleman whose party has been, the people of Bengal have spoken loudly and clearly. So I am not answerable to the gentleman who is trying to pose these questions. Vikram, you ask me any question, and I will happily answer every question you ask.
We are still the democratically elected opposition in West Bengal. I mean, this is, he can't behave like this. I'm sorry. People have still voted for us as an opposition party.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news in your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.